I'm going to cry.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Sorry for the delayed start. My apology to Mike and Steve. Sorry about that. Just having to take care of a couple things here, and I'm still not set up yet. But I'm going to get myself set up while starting the show. Hi, everybody. So, again, sorry for this delayed start. Welcome to the Knock'em Dead Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. Hey, wherever you're watching from, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Wherever you're watching from, we ask that you share the link on all your socials. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. And if you're watching on Facebook and you want to stay there, that's cool. We appreciate that you guys are watching. However, if you'd like to join in on today's show and comment and be a part of things, we read your comments on YouTube. We include you guys, but that's where we do it. We monitor the comments on YouTube. So join us on YouTube, and you'll be a part of things. The Knock'em Dead Comedy Show, we're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, and we got some legends with us here today. Michael, of course, is here because it's a Wednesday. And joining us is Steve Strangio, ladies and gentlemen. Steve is here. No, this is not a Curly from the Three Stooges convention. This is not a Kojak convention. It's just three bald men.
Macho bald men.
And I'm very excited because Steve, you've been in here before.
Yeah,
but not particularly this show.
Not this room, not on the seat.
No,
the seat never existed.
No, you have.
I have been hanging around. I come by every so often.
I would swear you sat one time.
I think there was like an event, the reunion event that happened here. Donna Drake was kind of here too.
The Bob Nelson night.
Bob Nelson night, yeah. And
right.
I was kind of
me and Don Sill.
There you go. I was kind of helping her out. Being just right. She's always been there for me. I wanted to be there for her.
And you did a set that night, didn't you?
I did not do a set.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I was kind of helping out with the TV production stuff. And I came and I poked my head on every so often and said, hey,
Yeah, but for some reason I thought you sat down and joined us for at least a minute. Okay, I think that was the only time.
Yeah.
And I know you've done Don's show.
I've done Don's show. Excellent show. It was fun
Don's
time.
Great.
Lots of cool clips. I love how he keeps the people interested. And graphics coming at you and flying at you.
That's
his
great
conversationalist. It was a blast. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited to finally have you here.
Hey,
I am way overdue to get you in here.
There I am. Hi.
Quickly, before we get into stuff with Steve, I want to say hi to our guy Mike, and I'm sure you're chomping at the bit because if I'm not mistaken, the past week or two, have you seen your boy?
I have.
You have? Oh, okay. So I'm assuming you're dying to talk about it.
Yeah, and I'm seeing him in Philly next Friday.
Oh, so you just saw him where? At Barclay?
UBS.
UBS. Yes. Okay. So we're talking about Bruce Springsteen. Mike is a crazy, fanatical, scary, restraining order type Springsteen fan.
Believe it or not, I'm not as bad as others.
I'll agree with that, but you're up there. You're up there. So am I right? I'm assuming you're dying to talk about the show.
Believe it or not, I know there's some people that are commenting stuff they don't want to hear about him.
Oh, is that all right? I haven't gotten to the comments yet. I'm still taking care of some stuff here. Oh, is that right? Really? Oh, we talking about Mr. Rusiello?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he called yesterday saying that he wants to blast you for being a Bruce Springsteen fan because he didn't. Apparently, a video went viral. Bruce is walking.
Oh, with Chris Christie?
Yes.
Yeah, but he also the big ragu who broke up our friendship. He didn't see the following day they posted. They've been great friends for years.
All right, hang on. Let me stop you right there.
There's a picture with them arms around each other after the show.
Oh, so Bruce was just messing with him?
No, Bruce didn't see him.
Oh, he didn't see him?
No.
All right, wait a minute. But what did you just say? The big ragu who ended our friendship. What in the world does that mean?
Well, he ended our friendship.
Who? Oh, you're calling John the big ragu who ended your friendship with him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that's what you were saying.
When Bruce was doing his 10th Avenue freeze out, Christie had his hand out. He didn't see him. Bruce said that. I didn't see him.
Oh, okay.
And
but he didn't see he didn't see the hand. He
sees a lot of hands, but he didn't. He just walked by him. Right. He did not see him. But after the show, they did a photo op in the dressing room, and they're buddies.
Now let me ask you again, being the fanatical fan that you are, because I'm going to assume you did this. The picture of the two of them that you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was definitely like that night after the show? Like they had the same clothes on? Or was it like an internet thing where the picture's from 10 years ago? And somebody
had
said
the same clothes on. No, I think they had the same clothes on. I didn't look that closely.
I don't believe you. So all right, so you're saying that it was taken. You're confident it was taken that night.
80%.
Okay. All right. I'm going to believe you.
But Bruce has gone on record as saying that they've been friends for a long time.
Okay. Well, is John watching? Oh, there's some comments coming in. All right, I'll get to the comments in a minute. Like I said, I was taking care of some stuff. I'm very behind, but I'm catching up, and I'll take a look at the comments in a minute. And John, hopefully you're satisfied with that answer, John. John was kind of mad. He was kind of mad. I personally,
because it was Christie, because he walked by me and didn't slap my hand.
That's probably him.
It is him. Yeah. Not Bruce, and not Chris Christie, but the big ragu.
I'm calling you right now.
So to hear the phone calls, you got to put on the headphones. You got to pair it. Assuming you want to hear it.
That's for him. I'll just pay attention to the chaos.
Go ahead. Go get him. Go ahead. You're on, Mike. John, whatever your name is. Go get him.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, pal.
All right, I like to comment on Mr. Kaplan's bullshit that Chris, he didn't see Chris Christie. Chris Christie is 300 fucking pounds. Okay, if anybody can't see, it's like I didn't see John Rusciello. No, John Rusciello's 300 pounds, but I didn't see him. A fucking propaganda bullshit that fucking Kaplan has the audacity to turn around and believe.
Well,
Kaplan has gone soft in the fucking brain. He has turned around and listened to this bullshit for years and years and years, and he not only did he knock fucking Christie, he knocks the fucking White House. He turns around and tells, the White House is corrupt. You know, Kaplan, you're going soft in the fucking brain. You're a turncoat. You were a Yankee fan. You turned around and put a tattoo on your arm, a Yankee fan. You meet this wonderful girl, Jen. No disrespect to Jen. She's a Met fan. Now you become a fucking Met fan. Grow a pair of fucking balls, Kaplan. Okay. Yes, I did break up my friendship with you. It hurt me to break up the friendship with you. It really did. But you're a fucking asshole because you don't turn around and do the right thing.
All right. Well, hang on.
You hurt my wife. That's the only reason why I broke up the friendship. All right? You should be ashamed of yourself. Grow a pair of fucking balls.
All right. Well, hang on 2 seconds here. What Mike going to a Springsteen concert, if you disagree with Springsteen's politics, that's fine. But Mike didn't do anything to that.
Mike is a two-time veteran. He fought for this country.
Sure.
All right, he's in my eyes and everybody else's eyes, he's a war hero. All right, he fought for this country, and he fucking drank the fucking Kool-Aid with this liberal piece of shit that constantly knocks the government and the United States of America. Mike, do yourself a favor. Go with Rosie O'Donnell. Go with fucking Ellen DeGeneres, and get out of the fucking country if you feel like that. You should be ashamed of yourself. You take the government benefits, which you well deserved, all right, and you turn around and you have the mentality. You're going soft in the brain. That's the only way I can describe this. You're going soft in the fucking brain.
All right. I got a few things here. First off, the fact that he fought for the country has nothing to do with if he's liberal or not, because
yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I think
yes, it does. Absolutely.
I think you would agree that even if you disagree with how a liberal in this case how they go about things, I want to show that. So hold on to that. The both sides have the same means to the end here. They all want what's best for the country. We disagree on what's best, but they all want the same thing. Now Mike pulled up the picture. Chris Christie himself posted the picture of him and Bruce backstage.
This was the night of the show, yeah.
Right. So
he has to. It's politics. He has to. He doesn't want to be embarrassed. That's all bullshit.
I lost it. I'm sorry.
All right. His publicity people turned around and said, "You got to make this right."
All right, so credit to Bruce for doing the right thing and apologizing.
If you look at the picture, at the corner of your eyes, you see at a asshole Springsteen's, but you see, and by the way, his entourage saw it as well. His entourage couldn't tap him on the shoulder and says, "Hey, there's your buddy Chris Christie." The people that were walking around him saw it.
Well, yeah, but he was in the middle of the concert. They're not going to stop him and grab him.
It wasn't the middle of the concert.
Yes,
he was walking off.
No, it was the middle. He was in the middle of the concert. He went into the audience and was walking through the aisle and doing high fives with people in the middle of the song.
That's all right. So that's even more so why his entourage should have topped him. He shook everybody else's hand. He shook all those jerkos that paid thousands of dollars to
right. But if you
sweat his balls off.
But if you watch the video, he's high fiving as he's singing, and then he makes a left and turns away. And that was kind of where Chris Christie was, right on that corner, and it is possible he missed him.
Can I say something also?
Well, yeah, he was talking to you.
So Chris Christie, well, he's telling me to grow a pair of balls, but I haven't said how I'm angry at him.
Okay.
See, I've been a gentleman. He has not. Chris Christie says, he posted this on X. He says, "Is a dream a lie if it don't come true?" That's a direct quote from one of Bruce Springsteen's songs. Okay. So Republicans and liberals, whatever you want to call them, can be friends. You know? And
sure.
I'm not a liberal. I am pro-American. You know? And I don't think he has a right to say, I should grow a pair of balls, because I walked in the fucking Middle East for 2 years.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm praising you for that.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand why you turned.
No one's ever told me to grow a pair
I'm
of balls.
praising you for that. I think that's a wonderful thing. I was the first one. Hey, listen, we spoke about it on the show. I defended you with Vietnam vets that turned around and had the audacity to say that you weren't in a war. I threw the guy out of my fucking garage for you.
Yeah.
You forgot that?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, so don't say I say grow a pair of balls because you have the audacity to fucking go to see this guy that knocks the country of the United States.
I love his music. I've been listening to him since
But it has nothing to do with loving music. All right? It has nothing to do with loving his music. You should boycott his music because he's knocking the government, because he's knocking the United States.
Maybe I don't.
You love his music. Okay. All right? Listen, there's a lot of things that I love that I'm not supposed to do, and I don't do.
Yeah. I was gonna make jokes there.
You can make jokes all you want. Of course you can make jokes. I'll make jokes too. All right, Michael, the bottom line is this, okay? You're going soft in the fucking brain as far as I'm concerned. And I'm embarrassed to say that you do that. Because you fought for this company twice. Your son fought for this country. All right? Your son's a hero in this country.
And you
turn around and listen to this old piece of shit that, by the way, has no business going and having concerts. People pay thousands of dollars. He should fucking retire, go to Venezuela or go wherever he wants to go, and knock the country from there.
Well, all right. If people want to still pay to see him, that's on them. If people were offering me the kind of money he makes, I would keep going too. But all right. Do you have any? Would you like to respond, or should we?
The only
move
response
on?
I have is I know all his proceeds are going to charity.
All?
Yeah,
100%.
He's not making any money on this tour.
Oh, all right. Well, there's something to be said about that.
He's only paying the band.
I would like to see the disclosure of that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not denying it because I don't know anything about that, but I would like to see disclosure.
That's what
I would like to see the list of charities and the charities agree that all his money went to charities.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, John.
Have a good show, guys.
Yeah, we're going to move on. I want you to calm down. I don't want you to get too excited over there.
Have a good show. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Wow. See what you did?
Yeah, it's Steve's fault.
Wow.
I am not involved in this.
Yeah. Sorry, but wow. I have all sorts of apologies for Steve Strangio this morning. Steve Strangio is here.
Hey.
How are you, pal?
I'm fine.
After that, I'm surprised he's still sitting here.
Woo!
That's
about to.
Sunday dinner at my house. Don't worry about it. So, not
All
a
right.
problem.
We're going to hang out with Steve. We're going to get to know Steve. We're going to talk to Steve.
Yeah.
One way that I like to get to know our guests and to kind of introduce our guests to everybody, I put on my stalker hat and I go on Facebook and I look at mutual friends.
Nice.
I'm going to name some.
Okay.
You can say good things, you can say bad things, you can say nothing at all, and we've all been down this road. We all have Facebook friends who we don't even know who they are. So
I'm going to spoil. I'm going to say all good things. So
all right, nice.
All my people in my world.
But you might
awesome.
not even know who some of them are because again we're all in that
Okay,
world.
all right,
where
I'll
we
play this game.
Yeah,
I like games. Here we go.
Alan Gutnick,
Alan Goodnick, great guy.
very nice. Guy.
Moving on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice enough guy. I mean, nothing bad to say about him.
Oh, I'm not looking for anything bad.
Yeah.
We've covered that for today. The negative stuff. I'm not looking to stir anything. I'm just letting you know you have the freedom to do that if you
All
so
right,
choose.
okay, all right.
Oh, his name was already mentioned. Bob Nelson.
Bob Nelson, the legend.
Yep.
Come on. I mean, I was there back in the East Side Comedy days when he was on stage and part of the improv group, and I was part of the improv group with Joan St. Ange and all the names that everybody knows. You know, we can drop names like
Joan St. Ange is a legend.
Legend.
Yep.
And Bob Nelson was there. I was part of it. You know, I was like, I wasn't part of that echelon. I was like I was an auditioner back then.
Okay.
This is like late 80s, early 90s.
Sure.
You know, and I came in on the second wave after
Right.
the Magnificent Seven, you know, and that
Yep.
whole deal.
Jackie and Eddie.
All those guys. And
that clown Bartlett.
Bartlett, another legend. And, you know, it was, you know, getting to know Bob was because he is just warmth personified, you know, and what he's been through has been insane,
Yes.
and the strength that he exhibited, you know, coming from that, and now, you know, back on the stages. You know, I don't think he ever left the stages. I think he was always on the stage. You know?
I think he did kind of.
He had to
There
take
was
a
a
break
lull.
because of whatever he had to go through.
Yeah,
but
right.
you know, I went to go see Rider PI, you know, in the movie theaters.
I swear to you, I just bought a DVD.
DVD of Rider PI.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've been trying to get Bob and Bartlett and Minervini and
Yeah.
Joey Cola, and then I'll add you to the list. I'm trying to get like a party where we all watch it together.
Oh my God, like a viewing party.
Yes,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Rider PI
Yeah.
is a movie that Bob Nelson made.
Yeah. Dave Hawthorne.
Which
know.
which you're like everybody else. Nobody ever heard of this thing.
It was like every top comedian and Howard Stern.
Yes,
at
he
the
makes a
time
cameo,
were in
yeah.
this movie, and it was like basically the all-star cast of comedians were in this movie, and it was just insane. You know, they had a Mad Magazine. I think it was Mark Trucker. I'm not really sure. Mad Magazine. Person did the cover, did the poster for it.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I didn't know that.
You know, Mulrooney was in there. You know, Mulrooney was in there, and a whole group. And I actually went to. There was like a party at. Spit. Remember Spit?
Right across the
Spit,
parkway.
was it over there? I'm not sure which way to point.
Yeah,
but
that way.
and they had a party there, and I got to hang out with them and stuff like that. They had
Nice.
bands before. It was a blast.
There was a name of a club called Spit.
Yep.
Yeah, it was right here. Right here in this shopping center.
Wow.
Uncle
but
Sam's was it Uncle Sam's?
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Now, wasn't that the thing?
They like kind of went back and forth.
It was the same place. So
Yeah.
there was a club called Uncle Sam's, and but it was only Uncle Sam's on certain nights. Other nights, the place was called Spit.
So they went punk and then new wave stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm trying to remember which is which, but when I think it was Spit was the rock club.
that was like the new wave, punk
new wave?
rock club.
Okay, and
You
then
know,
when it was Uncle Sam's, it was like
generic
dance,
fun, yeah.
yeah.
Not really disco per se, but just like Long Island fun. Because people here on Long Island, we know how to party.
Oh,
you know,
without
you go
a
out there,
doubt.
and my party years were in like the '80s,
Yeah.
and then just before grunge hit.
Right, same here.
You know, so that was like to me that was the best time to party because it was just complete. Every '80s movie you've ever seen where the party was that I was in that. I was that guy jumping
Right.
up and down doing this and the whole deal. And then it was like a blow up doll would come across the crowd and be like, "This is awesome, best day ever!" You know, so it was like it was kind of like that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, but now it's different. Now I'm Uncle Buck crashing the party, and
Well, like
with the
Chris
car
Rock,
that has the
Chris
back-
Rock has said, you don't want to be the old guy at the club.
I am the old guy at the
I
club,
try
man.
not to be. If I go out for a drink, I'll just sit in the corner and watch without being creepy, and just enjoy the fun,
I don't think you can be not creepy with doing.
I think if you're out there dancing while the girls are dancing in
That's
their
creepy.
tribal dance, then it's like, hey, how you doing? Want to dance? I don't want to be that guy,
Right.
Be like, if they see catch a girl across and go and dance with us.
Me and my buddies, we would drive around, and sometimes we'd see like whether it's a park or the back of a school, and we'd see them on their lawn chairs watching a band that hasn't been famous for 30 years.
Yeah.
I remember. In fact, I remember this
Yeah.
driving on Newbridge Road.
Yeah.
I think it was late 80s. Driving past Hicksville High School, and in the back they had all the lawn chairs out, and Frank Gorshin was doing stand-up.
Frank Gorshin.
Wow.
And we laughed. We're like, oh, look what Frank Gorshin's down to. This is a long cry from his days with Batman.
Yeah.
Now, I go to lawn concerts like every freaking weekend.
I know.
I am them.
You hit a certain age, though. I mean, like even performers know that. You hit a certain level. Even in the movie, Mr. Saturday Night.
Oh, sure.
Billy Crystal's character was doing bowling alleys.
Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
because anybody who has done stand-up comedy, and I did it from age 17 to like 35, 36, it is who you are. You're alive when you're on that stage, and it's almost like an endorphin high. It's and that
Agreed,
was my drug
100%.
of choice. I never did drugs.
Yeah.
I needed that performance high.
Right.
And then sometimes it becomes too addictive. That's why I kind of like moved away from it, because it was my entire life.
Okay.
And I needed other things to do. But any other names you want
Well,
to
yeah, and I want to get back to that, but yeah, I do have more names, and I want to say too that that night we had the tribute
Yeah.
for Nelson. Bob came in here.
Yeah.
Him and Bartlett. Now
Said-
I
that's
wasn't
what
a
I got-
part of that scene.
I think I walked in on that. Yeah. that's
Oh,
right.
yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
But I went to see you guys, and I mean, I was a little too young for when Eddie Murphy for the Magnificent
I
Seven.
was just after Murphy.
Yeah, so that's when I started hitting the clubs, and I would see Bartlett, and of course everybody saw Jackie, and and Bob Nelson. I saw him and Rodney at Westbury Music Fair,
Oh, wow.
in their height. Bob was doing the balloons and all that shit.
I got a Rodney story. But go ahead.
They both come in, they sit down on that couch,
Wow.
and they started going into their old bits.
It's been surreal for you.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here. My mouth was down the whole time. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I never in a million years.
Yeah.
The first time I ever came to this club, I saw Dr. Dirty. First time I was
John
ever here.
Falvey, classic.
Loved it, and I
Yeah.
saw him several times.
Yeah.
I never in a million years thought someday I'll be in that club. Forget about going on stage, just doing anything, let alone being here. Christy Miller was sitting here, a couple other guys. Never. I was like getting my own private show
Pretty
with
much.
these two legends.
Isn't that awesome? Command performance.
It was one of the best moments of my life.
Yeah.
Of my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Sitting here watching those two. And then it turned out they hadn't seen each other in 20 years.
Oh no! Well, that's that happens to comedians. There's still to this day comedians who I've never seen in the daylight.
Yeah, right.
I've only known them at the clubs.
But
Yeah.
and again, I want to go back to you walking away from it. But to me, that might be the best positive of the whole thing is forming those types of relationships.
Those bonds,
where
yeah.
20 years later they're going into those bits like they just rehearsed it the night before.
Yeah.
It was just
Well,
amazing.
I was on a radio show one time with Joey Cola. We were both guests, and I saw Joey's very first time at Eastside Comedy. Got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
First time on stage, and we didn't see each other for a long time, and then we saw each other. He's like, Cola, Strangio.
Yeah.
Come on. You just know each other.
I was just talking to Joey last night. I was teasing him because I saw on eBay, I think it's early 90s, maybe mid to late, or sometime in the 90s, he put out a CD called Laugh Hard.
Okay.
It's going on eBay for $35.
Oh.
And he's like, that's cheaper than what I sold it for. More expensive than what I sold it for.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And speaking of which, Bob Nelson, he's coming back to Governors. I think it's July sometime.
Yeah.
So go on the website and you will not be disappointed. He's
That-
still as funny as ever.
That night was epic. It was an amazing,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
moment
that
to
night,
be there
yeah.
and watch all these guys just kind of like see each other again. The emotion was just there.
How
Plus,
long did they go at it for?
In here?
Yeah, because that must.
it was like they stopped last Tuesday, I think it was.
Well, they were doing bits for maybe 20 minutes, but we had them in here probably half hour to an hour. And yeah, because they were also reminiscing and telling stories, and we were asking them questions. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Rob Bartlett he's as sharp as he ever was. In fact, he came in here one day with the two of us.
Yeah.
And what I remember from that, I've seen him do it all the time, but it's never not funny. He acts like he's getting mad about something.
Yeah.
And he got up and stormed out, even left the building.
Wow.
I'm laughing. I look over.
Yeah. Because I don't know that.
I go, he's joking. So I gave it a minute, and I went out. I opened the back door. There he was standing right there, and he came right back.
Bartlett
So
worked for the WWE for a while.
Yes.
That's one thing I have in common with him. I actually worked for the WWE.
Oh, is that right?
For 2 years, yeah.
Doing
Yeah.
what?
It was when they were transitioning from WWF to WWE, where they
Okay.
got the F out. That
Nice.
was their thing. Get the F out.
Oh, okay.
WWF New York was where the Hard Rock is right now. And I walked in there, so I was actually hosting a television show before that, and I heard they were hiring. I was like, "What do you guys got? What do you guys got?" You know, so it was like they had a SmackDown show on Thursday nights.
Right. I remember that.
So I walked in. I'm like, "I have stand-up comedy experience. I have improv experience. I could do this." They're like, "All right, great, it's yours." I'm like, "Well, what do I do?" And they're like, "Just make something up." So
Just like that?
I was working there for a while. I got in there. I got to audition at Titan Towers. I got the whole WWF mic when it was done as WWF, and I got to somewhere. There's a demo tape about me in the file somewhere.
Nice.
And I did the audition, and they said, "Great, So I positioned like a totally interactive, immersive experience for the WWE, WWF fan, where they would have. So we did SmackDown. Everybody's been to WWF New York when it was there. It was like the ultimate professional wrestling fan's dream.
Really?
You walked in, it was like this gigantic like acre of a place and down in the basement where the Hard Rock is. And then they would have a 3-story screen, and people would watch wrestling on the big screen. There was never a fight at this place. I guess they all just projected their anger and fighting onto, the screen. But they would have a superstar come in. I would bring them out. They would say hi. We'd watch an hour of SmackDown, and then I would do a Q&A with the superstar. But before that, I would also do trivia for getting people to shout out answers. Kind of the genesis of what Super Mega Trivia Slam became. We can talk about that.
Yes.
But it was just for me as a wrestling fan. I got to meet and interview. Much like how you, bringing back to like meeting your people, all these people that I grew up with, I got to hang out with, like Taz, and Raven, and all these really awesome professional wrestlers, and I got to see them, for who they were behind the scenes, but then who they were on the character, And to me, it was fun because I got to create this like immersive fan experience for the fans.
That's great.
And they were very, very interactive, and that was a fun time. So I worked for them for 2 years. 9/11 happened, and then they transitioned into the Hard Rock. But it was a fascinating experience. I got to work for them for 2 years.
But unlike Bartlett, about wrestling. He did not know a thing when he got the gig.
He was on WWE Raw.
Yes.
He used to be a play-by-play
guy.
guy.
But it was only like a year or two because, it was apparent he had no idea, so they booted him.
He had his personality, and a lot of people are personalities are bringing in. Like, there are people bringing in, they bring them into right now as guests. They really don't know a lot, but I think that's all about the personality. Right. I guess for that time, they were looking for an angle, and Bartlett is, hysterical, so they were trying to, like, create something fun.
Well, I talk about it not to badmouth him or anything. He's the first to joke about it.
Yeah.
So that's why I mentioned
comedians do that,
Right. There's no filter.
Roast themselves before they get hit, by somebody else.
Deborah Markowitz.
Deborah Markowitz, one of the most talented filmmakers I've ever met. She actually filmed a few things in a place where I was living for a while. I've known her for, God knows, 20 years maybe. Nice. Long Island Filmmakers Connection. And we got to meet through there, and then she's just pumping out just like these amazing, not only like short films but also feature length films, and just a joy. The woman is just a bundle of love every time you see her, and there's a hard edge to her. There is, but but at the same time, that's a great mixture because she is just like hey Deborah, how you doing? Everything's great. This is amazing. I'm making a movie. I'm like, Deborah, I know, that's awesome. I'm proud of you. So that's cool.
That's great. Let's see. I'm going to edit down. I got a bunch of names. Greg Vaccarello.
GV. Yes. Genius. We used to do that to him when he was on stage. He'd just be doing his comedy, and in the back we'd all shout out, "Genius!" Because he is just such a natural talent and such a likable guy. His character now is kind of like a little edgy, but that's great because it's likable at the same time.
Yes, I agree 100%.
I almost moved to Florida with him and another comedian. We were like, at the time, we were like in a cusp of our career. What was that?
I said eloping?
We just, all three of us were going to take do the comedy thing. We're going to rent out this a complex, and we're going to hit all the Florida comedy clubs. It's going to be awesome. And then it never worked out for some reason. Right. I guess I didn't want to leave Long Island at the time. I don't know. I had a family. Sure. But it was like, the man has moved on to do some amazing work.
Absolutely.
Great guy, too.
One of the best. One of the best. And that's the same with, I always laugh with Tim Gage. He does the same thing. You say something funny, he doesn't bust out laughing. He just goes, hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, Hal Spear would do that too.
Okay.
If you remember
Hal
Spear.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Strangio. That's hysterical. Chicky.
Wow.
He's
I'll be honest, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, Hal Spear was, it's one of the classics.
Yeah.
He was an old-time comedian in a young man body.
Right. How about Peter Schwartz?
Peter, we were talking about Peter Schwartz.
Yeah.
We just I never actually met the man. We've texted back and forth.
Okay.
A lot when he was working for like a football company, because I wanted to take and we were just talking about this once again. I'm going to drop a bombshell here. This is actually true, folks.
An exclusive.
I've invented a sport.
Nice.
It's called zone ball.
On my list of
On
questions.
your list. So
I have it. Zone ball.
Should we use that as like foreshadowing and then get back to it later?
No, go ahead.
All right. So
Let's do it.
zone ball is a sport that I created, which is a cross between basketball and European handball. When you say handball, for us, for New Yorkers, handball is when you're hitting against the wall and cursing each other out. No, in handball, it's like soccer, only with your hands. You're sort of throwing it around, stuff like that. So I wanted to create something because I'm the only child of an all-star soccer player.
Oh, wow.
And I could never achieve the level that my dad did with soccer, so I wanted to create my own sport. So I used to hang out with my dad, and he would talk. He was always the last one to leave, and he'd always talk about the strategy of the game and what happened, yada yada yada. And my mom was really into entertainment, so I got the best of both worlds. So I took what I learned in improv and I applied it to sports, because in essence, a sport is a structured improvisation. Okay, it's telling a story through physicality within a structured format.
Okay.
So that's how I created zone ball, and I never saw a sport that had a goal in the center. And then I created this goal. It kind of looks like this. I'm showing it for here, and it's almost like a prayer hands, but like there's a hole on either side, and the goal is in the center. So it's like two backboards with a hole in the center.
It's almost like cornhole, but the hole's a little bigger, and it's vertical.
Yeah, it's a bigger thing. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, because I think I saw a clip of this.
Yeah, if you go to
zoneballsport.com
zoneballsport.com or zoneballsport on Instagram, you'll see, because we got. I realized one of my dreams, one of my benchmarks, one of my bucket list items. I got to be on ESPN 8 The Ocho with this sport.
Okay.
Wow. And twice already, and then they repeated it like crazy.
Yeah,
So I invented that sport, and we were playing it for a long time. And right now we're still in negotiations to try to get it back on television, because all these back in the '90s, I actually invented another sport called roller clash back in the '90s. It also had a goal in the center. But as I was inventing sports back in the '90s, people were like, "Wait a second, you invented a sport? What the hell? What the hell am I going to do with you?" And I had a letter of intent from the guy who invented the X Games, all right? Yeah. And we couldn't get it back on television. So I took a break. Zone Ball came out, and I finally got back on television.
So can we, or you can describe the game to us, or
there's two teams, 4-on-4.
Now I saw there's 4-on-4, but then there were also guys like what look like out of bounds. Again, I don't know
those are the the substitutes.
Oh, I thought I saw someone throw a ball to them.
That could have been just a graphic error. Who knows?
Okay.
But it's a 4-on-4 game. Men and women can play at the same time. Boys and girls can play at the same time.
Right.
And you're dribbling the ball, and the whole intent of the game is to throw the ball into the center zone.
Right.
The goal. If you miss and the other team gets it, they have to take it back out to either outside line, kind of like in half-court basketball.
Sure.
But it's not uncontested. You can stop them, to try to regain the ball and take a shot. So there's an ebb and a flow to it. With a sport, you just can't create something and then hope it works out. No, it's like, it's almost like creating a sculpture.
Do they have to dribble or anything? Or
they can dribble.
They can, but they don't have to.
No, they can. They should.
Okay.
In the past, I did it where you could throw the ball and you would have to stop. But then as we were playing it, people were like, I want to move. I don't want to stop.
Okay.
So I introduced the dribbling thing, but I didn't want to copy basketball. So I said, well, you can stop and start if you want. You can double dribble if you want.
Okay.
Okay. There's no contact, It's basically a lot of rules of basketball, but a little altered. So it's dribbling, it's stopping and starting, it's tossing the ball into the center goal, it's intercepting it and taking it back to the outside line, so there's a nice ebb and flow to it.
4 on each team, you said?
Four per team, but you can do substitutions on the fly.
What kind of ball?
It's a playground ball, what I call the thump ball. Those ones.
Like a kickball?
Almost like a rubber inflated ball.
The old dodgeballs when we were kids.
When you get hit in the head, like ba-doop, that type of thing.
I love your sound.
The doop ball.
Now, and all 4 are allowed to run on both sides of the goal?
You just can't enter the zone, though.
Oh, so there is like a zone.
Yeah, the center zone is hot lava. You can't go in there.
Okay.
So that's the only thing. You can't run through it without the ball. You can't run through it with the ball. That creates a strategy.
How big is the hole? Does it matter?
It's 5x5. The zone is 5x5, but the hole is about 4 inches in diameter. So it's enough to get the ball through.
And ideally, I mean, it sounds great, because it sounds like you can play it in all different configurations. Like you can play it in the small backyard, you can play it in a gym, but when you invented it, like what were you picturing as far as the court on each side of the goal?
I picture like the size of a regular indoor hockey rink.
Okay.
And we could play it indoors, outdoors, on the beach.
Sure.
I played it on roller skates.
Oh, that's cool.
I've had for the wheelchair athletes. We did a version with the wheelchair athletes
sure.
as well. Because I've seen
Wheelchair basketball, to me, is harder than two-legged basketball, for lack of a better term. Two-legged basketball. Because those guys have to move spin the wheels and dribble. And they're relentless. My wife used to coach wheelchair basketball, so I have a lot of
this sport is invented
watching
for that.
experience.
It has like more elements of murder ball. If you've ever seen murder ball,
yes.
It was full contact, which is great. And I think I definitely want to expand upon that. I want to see more of zone ball in wheelchair athletes because it's good for them. Usually in wheelchair basketball, you're kind of like going back and forth, and everybody kind of camps underneath the basket, and you're throwing the basket. On mine, there's an ebb and a flow. There's a constant ebb and a flow. So it gives them a reason to keep going around, and
Okay. So. Now, just like football has done, do you envision like a lingerie version or a lesbian? You don't have to answer that.
What I do is I have so many. I mean, it's the first. Once I broke the glass ceiling of inventing a sport, I just kept going. So I got about 30 sports in development. I kept them. There was one point where I had 3 sports on the market being sold as game kits.
No kidding.
Wow. Zone ball, zoner, and bounder ball. And now I'm just looking for like the next phase to get it done. And while I was doing this, like I said, back in the 90s, nobody knew what the hell to do with me. But now there's a whole industry of people inventing new sports.
Right.
Come on, pickleball. Come on.
Right.
All the other things that are coming out of nowhere.
Right.
If somebody out there knows that, they want to get back on television, even on ESPN 8, the Ocho, or any place else, man, I got so many sports. So if you're out there and you want to make
30 sports, that's amazing.
I just kept going. I couldn't stop, and then I started, and then I went nuts because this will pertain to the big announcement later, but like I kept inventing regular sports, then hybrid sports, and then roller sports, and then like the wacky sports. That just you look at it and go, where did you think of that? Like whoever thought that something called cornhole would be that popular?
I know.
It's
amazing. Cornhole to me is amazing.
And people love it. There are certain sports where you don't have to move too much like how bowling became popular and other stuff. Candle pin bowling. Have you ever heard of candle pin bowling?
Oh yeah,
no.
The skinny pins.
Yeah, it's big in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
They look like candles. They start small and then get big and then get small, and it's like a shot put type of ball. And it's a variation, on. So the one thing I never wanted to be accused of was like saying, well, that's just, people could look at cornhole and go, well, that's just horseshoes. But no, it's a little more than that.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And when you're inventing things, sometimes you have to start from something that already exists and create a hybrid, and then get to the point where it's completely brand new. Like I don't want to blow people's minds and with something that they've never seen before.
Sure.
I want to get there.
Okay.
So that's where we are right now.
So the movie Basketball is basically Steve Strangio.
Basketball and dodgeball. That's my story.
Right.
I've been flirting with the idea of creating a zone ball movie, whereas I go back in time, like I'm this age, and I go back in time to the 90s. And go, you're going to invent something called zone ball, and we're going to get you there. So there's like a whole bit there.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, I'd pitch it to Ben Stiller if he's interested.
Ben, if you're watching.
But since zone ball's already been on ESPN 8, the Ocho, and that was surreal.
Yeah,
like
sure.
You had your surreal moment. I'm sitting there going, my God, I love that movie, and now I'm in it in a way.
Right.
Which is insane.
Wow. Yeah, I slowly discovered that as I was doing my research to talk to you today. A lot of friends in common, similar experiences. We're going to talk about being an extra because that's how we got you in here in the first place. Because I've done a lot of extra work. I've been on ESPN, so there's a lot of parallels going on here, which is fun. All right, so we've touched upon it, so we may as well go there.
Okay.
The walking away from stand-up.
Walking away from stand-up. So I started when I was 17 years old. Richard M. Dixon's White House Inn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was
Bartlett. He talks about
that was the
place.
first sort of official club. My first time on stage was at NASA Community College as part of their like college union event, and like every big comic at the time, Bob Nelson was there, and every big comic at the time, Klaus Myers, everyone does and I convinced them because I was really big into Robin Williams at the time. So I walked in and go, oh, look, I have an idea. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, Mindy. And I would free associate like crazy. I know you're big into improv. I mean,
I am.
Okay, so it's like
Mike acts as well. So
there you go.
Role in the world.
So I went to the College Union and I auditioned for them, and I didn't have any ideas. I just kind of like went nuts and had a good time. They're like, all right, well, you can open up for all these comedians.
Nice.
What I didn't know was that in the College Union in front of 300 people. My very first time on stage is in front of 300 people.
Wow.
So I go up there, I killed. I was like, my God, this is amazing. There's actually a picture of me in the yearbook, like holding a garbage can for some reason. I think it was like R2-D2's cousin, and I went like that. So I was like, I can do this. I'm 17. I got no fear. So I go to East Side Comedy. I go on stage and just die a horrible death. Just bombed beyond belief.
Yeah.
I went outside. I beat up my car. And I went back the next week.
That's what you have to do.
And I went back the next week. And I bombed consistently for 3 months until one day it just clicked.
Nice.
And I kind of like did the whole scene. We did, Governors and Chuckles.
Yep.
Which is now an abandoned lot for some reason.
Yes.
Brokerage and the whole deal, and Thomas McGuire. So I did that whole route back then. Now, back in the 90s, there were, when you went to an open mic night, there was crowds, which was great. So,
right.
And there were like 20 comedians a night and stuff like that. So it was a good proving ground to get it done. And then I started getting involved in improv groups and the whole deal. And then, natural progression, you want to start working. Now, here I am, like really, really young, early 20s, and I'm on the road constantly. I'm in some of these places that I probably don't want to be in. One time I had to drive to Massachusetts in a snowstorm for 4 hours, and then like
for $75.
$75, and then drive home for 4 hours. I'm like, oh, God. And it wasn't what I envisioned. It was fun. I had a blast.
Yeah.
But I had other things I wanted to do, and I was getting older, and my entire life was stand-up comedy. I was like, okay, what else do I want to do? So I want to be a playwright, and I want to be a screenwriter. I want to invent things. I want to, get involved in radio. I was at the very beginning of podcasting in 2005. You know, it's like I needed to walk away. So, but as comedian, if you're a comedian, I know you're comedians out there. I know you're comedians. You got to leave on that big show. You can't leave on a bombing night.
Right.
So I searched for that white whale, man. I kept going after it. And then when I got my last big show, I think it was actually on video. You can find it on TV, on YouTube. 2006, The Laugh Off. I did 2005 Laugh Off, LIFFOF, and then 2006 Laugh Off. And I big crowd once again. I was like, tip of the cap, I'm out.
Wow.
And then
I didn't
moved
realize
on.
it's been that long. Wow.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
But your list of other things you want to do makes me laugh because it's not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But like it's not like when people retire, like I want to spend more time with the family, I want to be home more. Yours is I want to invent things, I want to do radio, and like all these to a lot of people almost unachievable things or hard things to get to.
I get it. I'm an only child.
So I'm giving you credit. I'm not saying you're crazy. Or
no, not a problem. I appreciate that. I'm an only child. TV was my best friend. Movies were my best friend. Sports were my best friend. And I always had this urge to do something new, do something that hasn't been done before. I don't know where it came from. It might have come from my father because he was also an inventor.
Okay.
It may have come from my constant. My life revolved around television. Whatever was coming. I remember I used to. This is before I would get a tape recorder. And I would tape like Laverne and Shirley or Happy Days or Mork and Mindy and then listen to it while I was going to sleep. Yeah. So it ingrained. So I guess I discovered subliminal learning when I was a kid. Yeah. And
we used to do the same thing. My brother and I actually found in a store one time. I mean, it was done by a company. It wasn't like somebody's from home, but it was an audio cassette of Star Wars.
Wow.
And this was, this is late 70s, early 80s, just before we had VCRs. And, you had to wait 3 years for a movie to come on television. There was no cable. So, I don't remember. My brother probably remembers where we found this thing, but I can see it. It was a yellow cassette, and it was Star Wars.
Like an audio drama, yeah.
And but it wasn't somebody narrating. It was literally
full
just
production. I've heard that. Yeah, it's a full production.
No, it wasn't a full production.
Really? Okay.
It was the actual movie.
Okay.
It was just the audio of the movie.
I got you.
Which... When we first bought it, we didn't know what we were buying. We just saw it was Star Wars, and when you're a little kid back then, that's all we thought about because Star Wars was huge. So we bought it for that reason, thinking it was just something cool with Star Wars. But then we were listening to it like it's the movie. But we were happy because again, you couldn't see the movie.
Well,
for
I
years,
actually I have a podcast. I think it's still around. It's called Movies. First it was called Movies on the Radio. Now it's called Movies on a Podcast.
Oh, okay.
So instead of like watching a movie, you can listen to a movie.
Right.
You know, and it's audio dramas in a way. And then if you
radio plays,
and now if you're driving, if you minimize like one of the apps and you put on audio description, you can listen to a movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of like what I was doing beforehand. You know, now that like I think AI just kind of like does it.
Yeah.
But it was fun because I sometimes just want to listen to a movie.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Sure.
You can, if you listen to a movie in a way in your mind's eye, you can see it again. You
Right.
experience it in a new way.
Right.
You know, that's any Tarantino movie you can do that because it's very dialogue heavy. Any
true.
Kevin Smith movie you can do that. You know,
Yes.
it's very dialogue heavy. That's the Kevin Smith story we can talk about too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I give you credit also for being able to tip the hat and walk away from comedy because
Yeah, it was a challenge, but I did it.
yeah, I mean because I think it was all before we started. We were talking about just always needing that approval from an audience.
Validation more, really.
Validation. Thank you. That's a much
Validation.
better word. Yeah.
Yeah.
The just always needing that. Whether we're chasing, a lot of people think they're going to be famous if they. I've seen that in here. People look up, they see themselves on YouTube, and they think automatically like.
Well, that's
I made
a
it.
generational thing, dude. I mean, like we came up where it was like there were many options, but now it's been proven that you really sometimes don't have to do anything, and you're famous.
Yeah,
You're
right.
famous for being famous. Now, if it's
Which to me is not a good thing.
it's interesting because it's hollow in a way because
exactly.
it's really not about the fame. I know it sounds pretentious to say that, but anybody who's
It's true.
achieved some level of fame or recognition. I mean, I've signed an autograph or two, and it's a good rush, and everything. But then fame becomes a prison, and you're not living your life once again. And it was exactly the same thing that I walked away from.
That's my point. People they keep coming for that reason. I think they even kind of lose sight of what they were doing in the first place.
Yeah.
And you see it now. Got to get those views. Got
How
to
do I
get
get
those
viral?
views.
How do I get viral?
It's
Yeah,
like sometimes I have to reel myself in because I'll get caught up in it. Running this place, and I'll look. What are our numbers? And of course, need good numbers to a certain extent because Governors is paying for this room. So looking for sponsors to cover it. But and of course, I'd like to make something. But at the same time, when I talk about having Bartlett and Nelson in here, when I get to interview Kevin Pollak, and to me, that's a payoff in itself, which has a longer shelf life.
Well, you
so
and I
to
both
speak.
know people who are exceedingly talented and never actually got to the level that they deserved.
Right.
Oh,
there's a ton of talent that is on the island.
So that's why
Yeah.
you have to take this, I mean, I'm sure there were younger people watching this kind of smirking because it's like, well, those guys don't know. I got the views, I got the counts.
Right.
I'm like, right, dude, you're going to find out. Trust
Oh,
me. You're
absolutely.
going to find out.
Right.
Be who you got to be. As you get older, you realize it's more about doing it for the sake of doing it, not doing it because you have you have to, because it's who you are. It's not what you do.
And that brings us back to Deborah Markowitz because it's great to see. I love going to the Belmore Theater, and watching
Belmore Movies and Showplace.
Right.
And the Showplace.
to check out some wonderful local films, see people that we know that are in the films or making the films, and be a part of that community.
Well, they do a lot of perform. I got to meet Tony Orlando, which was awesome.
You went to that?
Yeah, I was there for them, and I got to meet him beforehand. I got to walk in. I think there's a picture on my Facebook about it.
Oh, yeah?
I walked in, and there was Tony Orlando, and the owner Ann introduced me, and I'm like, first thing I said was, I'm such a fan, and he was like so gracious. He was so old Hollywood. My friend, come over. He gave me a hug. It was his birthday. And I'm hugging Tony Orlando, and my face is like, it's his birthday, and I'm hugging him. He's hugging me.
Did you say happy birthday while you were hugging?
Of course I said happy birthday. And then he took a picture. He put his hand on my chest and waves, and then he took the picture, and it was like he was undercover Tony Orlando because he was rehersing.
Right. Well, all right. I have something I want to add to that.
Okay.
Before I do that,
Yeah.
I want to throw another name at you, and it's all going to tie in together.
Okay.
Zach, who works at the Belmore Theater.
Yeah. I know who he is. Should I say who he is?
Oh,
Can you say who he is?
Yeah, of course. That's my son.
That's your son.
Oh, I didn't know you knew.
No, I know Zach. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Really good filmmaker.
No, I knew you knew him. I just didn't know you knew that was my son.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I knew that.
okay.
Yeah, he's a great filmmaker too.
Oh, yeah,
really.
yeah.
I mean, I've seen him in
Thank
action. I've seen him work. I've seen him work. On the set. He's very
Oh,
proficient.
that's right. Upstairs. Are you still living there?
I don't live there.
Oh, you don't live there, but you were living there at the time, right? When they
not
filmed
really.
something.
No.
Oh, I thought you were.
No,
Oh, sorry.
That's I've lived someplace else, but it was
okay.
I was helping out,
Oh, okay.
and it was all part of what the group was doing there, and I got to see him work,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So that was pretty fascinating.
Yeah. He's. We'll keep him.
Ah.
So I brought that up because that night with Tony Orlando, my wife and I, we had to go. Oh, to a wedding. She loves Tony Orlando, loves him, and was really disappointed that she couldn't make it. And so first thing, so it was the night before. Zach was working, and he said at some point some older gentleman walked in. He had a fedora on and a long coat. He just walked in, helped himself, went in, started like walking around the stage, and Zach went to him, "Can I help you?" And it was him. It was Tony Orlando.
Yeah, that's what he
looked just checking things out for tomorrow night. Just want to make sure things are certain ways. And Zach couldn't believe the guy just walked in like that. Yeah. So then my wife was pissed that she missed him. But then she missed him because we had this wedding. So we're driving home from the wedding. It was out east, so we had a good hour drive home. We live in Hicksville. And he's texting both of us like crazy. "Are you home yet? Are you home yet?" Like, and I personally, I don't know about Lisa, but totally forgot about Tony Orlando. And, so I give her my phone. I said, "Can you text him while I'm driving? Just tell him we're not home yet. Like, give us another half hour." We asked him, "Is everything okay? Why do you keep texting?" Because, he tries not to text or contact us in any way. So,
but he has a reason now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. So we figured something must be wrong. We get home. I text him. I say, "Okay, we're home." We get he calls us on FaceTime. My wife answers it. There's Tony Orlando.
Ah, that's great.
Had a great conversation.
I think I saw that on Facebook too.
Yeah, I posted it. Yeah, and I played it on here. And
that's really super sweet of him. That's great, fantastic.
Absolutely.
He knows how important he is.
He scored points.
Well, I took my mother. My mother is in her 90s.
Oh yeah,
nice. And she's still like a party babe.
Nice.
She was like sitting like just like dancing the Candida and the whole deal. And Tony's like pointing at her. I'm like, "Yeah, baby." And the first thing I said, like Tony, I'm taking my mom to come see. He's like, first, you bring her up to me, you tell her to say hi.
Nice.
And I'm like, all right, fine. Sorry, I hit the microphone. But it was he just had such a warm show, and he showed videos of him on Tony Orlando's show.
How old is he now?
He's got to be around 80 somewhere, I think.
Late 70s, early 80s, yeah. But the man is still vibrant. Great sense of timing, great sense of understanding what show business is all about. I mean, that's another example that falls back into what we were talking about. Callback, which is, when you get to a certain age, you find your crowd, And what's interesting was he created this really, talking about like Kevin Smith when he does his like, Q&As and stuff like that. It was a Q&A, it was a performance, it was video, it was like a nice, warm, interactive hug. Because you could tell that Tony was like, listen, I'm here. I've had this amazing career. I still want some more, but I want to share it with the people. It's all about you.
Right.
And people could see that warmth and that's what I strive for, authenticity. So when I get to that age, I'll have a fan base who understands that, listen, I'm doing this because we're connecting. A long time ago, I saw something that John Derrick, and a filmmaker named John Derrick, who was married to Bo Derek at the time, right?
Ten Commandments. And
he was in Ten Commandments. He became a filmmaker, and one time he said that, I don't make films for the audience. I make films for me. And I was like, well, that's pretty snobby. You should, take care of your audience. But then as I get older, I realize I understand why he said that.
Yes.
It's more like entertainment is so subjective. If you try to please everybody, you become watered down. Don't try to find your audience. Just be true to yourself as an artist.
Right.
They will find you.
Right. Yeah. People and that's when you're talking about the authenticity, and even the Tony Orlando doing that type of show where it was like a Q&A and talking.
Yeah.
It was talking. Yeah. Because the audience is drawn. People, like-minded people, are drawn to what you're doing.
Right.
So you have that gap. That bridge is formed.
Yeah.
So then instead of worrying so much again about getting likes, going viral, no, just do what you do because the people will come. I found that on here.
Yeah.
It shows there's 10 people watching. My videos get 50 to 100 views, which is nothing in viral land or the internet world.
Yeah.
But these guys are I can truly call them my friends, or family. I have called them extended family.
Yeah.
They watch every day. I have contacted them outside of the show.
Yeah.
I had a health issue last month. I wasn't in here for a month. They were all reaching out. And again, that's bigger than any amount of freaking money you can make. I know that's corny, but it's true.
No, I get it. And with your permission, I'm probably going to cut up little segments of this and blast it out. And I usually do that. That's what I kind of did when I did the promo for this. I cut it up and did a quick little thing.
Like we've been friends 30 years, him and I.
Nice, fantastic.
Yeah, and that's what it's really about. Is the connections.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
A long freaking time, man.
It is. I've had those too. I'm also at an age where I'm good. I don't need any more friends.
Yeah.
Which reminds me. So you mentioned quickly before you used to have a self-produced show, sitcom for lack of. I'm sure
A
you
Good
have
Man? You're talking
Yes.
about? Okay.
So, and you're
Yeah.
talking about don't want to make friends anymore. So I wanted to ask this question. I don't want to forget. How annoying is Josh Schaefer? I'm totally teasing. But.
The whole thing about if you watch A Good Man, you'll see the character. I met Josh when we were working both as waiters at TGI Fridays in Rockville Center.
Oh wow.
That's how I first met him.
That's
I
wild.
always called him Indiana Josh because he used to wear an Indiana Jones hat.
Oh, really?
You know, and he was a cool guy. You know, he's
No,
just-
Josh is awesome.
And he's
Yeah.
been in about 7 or 8 of my productions. He's been in my
Cool.
plays. He's been in my short films. I felt bad because the whole thing about A Good Man was, and this will tie into Josh. It's a story about a group of friends on Long Island, in a Long Island town, Malvern. We shot the whole thing in Malvern.
Okay.
Where we just, it was kind of a tribute to the relationship I was in at the time. I fell in love with this woman. I wanted to tell the whole world about how we fell in love, and that led to the discussion of what a good man is.
Oh, okay.
So it
That's
was always
interesting. I
a
like that.
good man versus a bad boy, and Josh played the bad boy. And the entire film was improvised from my written story structure. So I wrote the entire story. I wrote all the beats. I directed everything. Then we did one take, and we just to capture the realness of conversation.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, I believe, is a
Exactly,
similar
Curb
thing.
Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I'm at a space in my life right now where it's extremely hard for me to remember lines. All right,
Yeah.
but I can improvise like crazy, And when I'm in a scene, I'm in the moment. What we're doing right now is improvisation. So
Yeah,
this
true.
would be
Yeah.
a scene.
Right.
It's real, but it's also structured in a way. So I did that. I wrote the beats. Now Josh played the bad boy. Okay, and I felt bad how we all named each other Steve and Josh and all the names from our real names, so we would fit into the reality of it. My character kept insulting his character. I kept calling him a jerk and stuff like that. I felt so bad about that because in real life, we both know we kid him. And Josh, I know you're probably watching. He's an extremely talented actor, such a good actor.
But I think
so
that was one of the
natural.
things I liked about it because you guys.
But we did that towards the end. You'll see that.
Yeah, because there was
a
a flow like you. Because there was one episode that I watched where you actually say something and be like, we've known each other since we were 17, maybe, or since we were kids, something like that. But you kind of got that vibe. These are two buddies,
Yeah.
And when you're with a buddy that 30 years, you say things
you
like
can
that.
roast each other. You can
Right.
say, you're in a place where it's not coming from a mean place.
Exactly.
It's like, and even comedians will roast each other because you get a god complex when you're up on stage, and they got to
Yes.
bring you back down.
That's right.
And we can say things like that to each other. And even towards the later scenes, you'll see that I cared about because listen, he was like going out with somebody who was bad for him, then he broke up with somebody and stuff like that. And you could tell in that one scene where we were sitting in a place called Connolly Station towards the end.
Oh, sure.
Where that became a real conversation. Afterwards, he actually ended up marrying one of the good friends of my then girlfriend. So I think in a way he kind of like realized who he was as a person, how good he can be. And he was. I guess he was a bit of a bad boy when he was younger, and good for him. You're awesome, Josh. And that's why I was striving for authenticity. So it started off as a web series. It became a proof of concept like TV pilot.
Right. Okay.
I think we're edging into the big announcement territory.
We could do that.
We had time? Okay.
Oh yeah, we still have 20 minutes, give or take.
So, A Good Man has been out for a long time.
Right.
I ended up unfortunately divorcing the woman who I based it on. We got divorced for some reason, which is a shame. But she's a lovely woman, and I wish her all the best and all the happiness in the world. But everybody else,
in at some point too.
everybody else got married. And they all found love, through there.
So you're saying is you're playing the good man,
Yeah.
and the good man actually loses the girl.
The good man lost the girl in real life. Then that put me into an idea of, well, what does that mean? Okay, what does it mean to be a good man? How can a good man lose someone? And it involved in what I created was, and like I said, I can. The big announcement is I wrote a pilot, the TV pilot, and I have a network, worthy guy who's actually been on several network TV shows attached as like the lead actor. Okay,
David Hasselhoff.
it's David Hasselhoff.
the Hoff.
I don't know why.
He has
No
an
idea.
he has an attraction to his car. It's called a good car, and
A good man who watches girls on the beach.
Yeah.
exactly. Baywatch car, a good Baywatch
Good
car.
Baywatch.
A good Baywatch.
Sorry, I'm ruining your announcement.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
fine. I love this. So
Very
it took me a long time, like 12 years to get there. The film has aired on like Strong Island TV, and it's going to be coming up on NY48, which is an independent TV station, and a few other stations. But I held off on it for a while. But then I realized I want to make this a TV pal. The big thing right now are streaming television channels.
Yeah.
And now they have like the 6 or 10 episode season.
Right. Yeah.
Which was kind of like, mimicked from how Britain and European TV markets were.
Right.
Whereas in America, we would go like 24 episodes, but it would like dilute the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's like beginning, middle, and end. It's like watching an 8-hour movie or even like, 8 half-hour episodes.
Yeah. When we were kids, it was an event. Miniseries.
Right,
3
exactly.
nights. Roots.
It was
and
the whole
Thornbirds.
thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But now they took that format, and it's like super popular on streaming networks like HBO or Netflix because film actors or TV actors with network experience can be on this and not hurt their other commitments.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have this amazingly awesome actor as the base, and then I'm going to start attracting other actors to it, because as always, when you're in streaming or pitching, it's always like, who do you have?
Right.
Who's going to, and it's like when you're pitching something, I'm at the beginning of that journey. I had a mega dose of inspiration. I wrote the entire thing in 2 weeks.
Wow.
The first pilot. Yeah. And then I created the pitch Bible is what it's called, which like maps out everything and all the episodes and how people are going to, you got to like talk business speak to these people.
Right. Right.
So now it's like we're at that phase, and I already made the pitch to a company. Now we're waiting, but at the same time, I'm going to start reaching out, to other people as well.
So how did, and I'm not asking names, but how did you get this one actor? Because that in itself is a big.
As a
big
clue,
deal.
I've worked with him before.
okay.
I've made about 10 short films in the past, and
so this is somebody you know.
somebody I know, somebody
Okay.
I've worked with,
Good enough.
and he went on to do some really great stuff, and like everybody who was in that movie went on to do some really great stuff.
Okay.
I really wish I could say his name, but I can't.
No, it's fine.
But we're moving on forward to it, to pitch it. And it's all the whole story is about like the clash of a good man versus a bad boy versus a nice guy versus the narcissistic person versus
Because we all have those sides to us.
yeah, and
Right.
on Long Island, because we're all from Long Island, everybody knows who lives on Long Island. Well, I mean, I'm a Nassau County guy, you're a Suffolk guy, I'm not sure where you are.
I'm a Nassau guy.
Nassau guy. It's like the small towns, each small town has its own personality, and it's like a pressure cooker for emotions. So it's like, all right, what happens when a group of friends get together and they're all, they have their own view of what love is, they have their own view of what relationships are. And I'm dressing it in the world of social sports, quirky social sports, bringing it back to Zone Ball.
Right.
As well as Super Mega Trivia Slam, which is my game show. Right. So I figured since I've been doing all that stuff, I'm taking a break from Zone Ball, taking a break from Trivia Slam, but putting it into this pilot as the dressing and as the hook. Whereas we can show like a funny, crazy, insane sport that's been invented, as like the window dressing. But in there is like these people battling it out about what love is and how relationships are set.
Yeah, so if you don't mind me asking, so what I'm gathering is it's like I studied the human condition. Mm-hmm. So a lot of it, I'm hearing a lot of that.
I'm a big studier of how people act and how people interact. I've always been a watcher.
Too.
As an only child, I would always watch people at times.
Yeah.
And after my divorce, I took some time off. We all know who Joe Starr is?
Yeah.
Okay. Joe Starr, actually, I used to produce a show, and I brought him up on stage one time. I think I gave him his first time on stage. I'm not really sure.
Oh, wow.
But he took me, brilliant man, brilliant philosopher type of guy. He took me aside, and I was having bad relationship issues. He said to me, the one problem in all of your relationships is you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the common denominator.
And
it
it took me a second. I'm like, that's not an insult. That's actually true. I'm responsible for everything.
And it's not an insult. It's really
it was
not.
the truth because once people take ownership of what happens in their life, if it's so easy to blame the other person. That person is who they are. You've made the choice to be in that person's life. Okay,
Right.
and you could have left if you want to. It could be you leave respectfully, or you could just take off. I'd much rather leave respectfully.
Yeah.
But that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
It's just saying, hey, listen, don't hate the other person. Everybody's the hero of their own story.
Yeah.
Okay? Understand why you allowed that person to stick around, why you compromised yourself so much that you became somebody else. My friends around me were like, Steve, you're not you anymore. And I was like, oh crap, I'm not me anymore.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what it's about, and then the repercussions of that and how to deal with that, and doing it in a funny way.
Yeah,
it just can't be like everybody sitting around. Like it then becomes like a foreign film. I do not like my life. This is you are terrible, and I am going to kill myself.
Well, as you know, drama and comedy are very similar.
Very similar. Was it tragedy plus time? Right.
Yeah.
So it's like I've been isolating myself in a way. A lot of my friends are like, Steve, why don't you hang out? I'm like, I just needed some time.
Yeah.
I needed to like
do.
get back to where I had to be. So that's where it is, and that's where we are. So I'm psyched about getting this thing done.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're in the pitching,
Yeah.
the pitching concept. When NY48, which is on Roku, just search for NY48. It's like an independent station that runs like a regular TV station. When they air it, I'll let everybody know on Facebook, and they can watch it in case they missed it.
Nice.
Thank you. I
that'd
appreciate
be
that,
great.
though. Thank
Absolutely. No, yeah, definitely keep
Well,
us.
anything about the human condition, I'm obsessed with.
You would like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
all right, I have not looked at comments yet.
As someone who's been
almost
in
done here.
relationships, it's so funny you say that. I've been married 47 times, as Tony says. And
That's it?
and the problem
Today.
wasn't with, I chose wrong. No, it was me.
It's good that you see that.
Yes.
It's not you're not a bad person. It's just that
No.
you don't you have to know what you're comfortable with. You just can't find somebody else to make you happy.
No.
You
Right.
have to be happy first, and then
Yes.
bring that person in. Otherwise, you're externalizing, and you're trying to like. If you try to make somebody happy and try to make somebody, sometimes you may find somebody. It's going to be a black hole. You're going to be tossing all your good intentions into that black hole. It's never going to come back to you, and you're going to hate yourself.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
Some of them were black holes.
And then once.
Chink, boom,
And then what?
I couldn't resist.
And
I'm
then
sorry.
and then what?
And then once you find somebody, then it's like punching a time clock every day. It's because it's work. Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Yes.
I'm looking for that right now. I'm just looking for that natural connection. I'm at a
right.
space right now where it's like I know it'll be funny if I'm saying this now and then like you catch me a year later and I'm married, but it's like even if I don't find somebody, I'm good. I mean, I've dated a lot. I had a great time. I still would love to find a companion, a
course.
woman to be with who understands you. But at the same time, I can see red flags in a heartbeat now. I've dated, since then. And there was one time I asked a girl out, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we should definitely go out. I'm kind of living with a guy, but we could go out." And I was like,
Wow.
we're not gonna go out.
Yeah.
She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Well, remember like 3 seconds ago when you said you were living with a guy?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna go out with you."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I may, that's gonna kill both of us literally if we do that. I don't know who this guy is.
That's a double red flag.
Oh my God! So I was like, "That's nice knowing you," Yeah. So it's amazing what's out there, and I'm not doing the apps. I don't think it's bad for people to do the apps. If that's what makes you happy, great.
Yeah.
I just want to have meet her naturally. Just
Yeah.
be myself, do
just
my things.
organically,
Get
yeah.
yourself out there and put yourself in a situation where you can meet people.
Right.
Yep.
Agreed.
Man, woman, llama, I don't care. It's
There's a lot of nice
Like
llamas out
Rodney
there.
Dangerfield. Roger, you were listening?
I heard you say Rod.
Rodney Dangerfield says, the best thing is to be bisexual. Then you got a chance with everybody.
there you go. Get turned down by everybody. I tell you, it's rough.
Oh, you had a Rodney story. you
Rodney
said.
pushed. I was at. This is when it was Dangerfields, and I was like, I was doing open mic, and Rodney walks in. I'm like, oh my God, there's Rodney. Oh my God, this is amazing. And the guy walks up to me. It looked like he's going to shake my hand. He goes, "Excuse me, kid, I got to get my beer." And he's like, pushed me aside. And I was like, I didn't even care. I'm like, dude, you get your beer.
Rodney
You're-
just pushed me, yes.
He, just, he didn't like. He just kind of like he very politely just like, "Excuse me, I gotta get my beer, kid." And I was like, that is so cool. You're awesome, Rodney.
I won't bore everybody because I've told the story so many times, but yeah, I once I was once cursed at by Eddie Van Halen.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I'm like,
Wow.
Again,
Did he have his
similarities.
guitar with you? I'm like, screw you.
Well,
what did you
it
do?
was in the middle of a concert.
Oh wow.
Sammy Hagar was doing his acoustic number. I just happened to wander into. I had backstage passes, and I just happened to wander by accident to where Eddie was waiting to go back on. And I was 25, I think.
Oh.
So I was just a stupid kid. I had a picture of one of his guitars in my pocket. I pulled it out. Eddie, can you sign this? He literally did one of these, and he goes, "You got to get the fuck out of here." And I yelled out to nobody, like cartoons did when we were kids. They would just narrate to nobody. I just yelled out, "Eddie Van Halen just cursed at me." And then security.
Your brush with greatness. Now, we do
Exactly.
have to get to the Letterman story, but he said there's
Yes.
also some comments.
Well, yeah, I wanted to read comments, and then so I was saving that the Letterman stuff, which again another parallel, which I'll get to too. So Vicky's watching. It's her last day in Massachusetts. It's a real scorcher, 93 degrees expected. Yeah, same here today, Vicky.
Yeah.
It's brutal out
I think
there.
it's 117 out there.
It feels like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
All the best in Massachusetts. Safe ride home, Vicky. Let's see. Yeah, John is saying that it's the same weather down there in Florida. Everybody's just saying hi to each other. Okay. And, of course, is watching from California. What? Vicky loved your pictures. The beaver and swan are so beautiful. Okay. I don't know what they're talking about, but
That's ironically the name of my next movie.
well, that's the porn. The beaver is so beautiful.
The beaver and the swan. Chicka, chicka, waka.
Of course, Naked Gun. Nice beaver. Thanks. I just had it stuffed. Let's see. Don Sill's watching.
Don
and
Sill!
And he says hi to Steve.
Sill.
Yeah, he's
Awesome.
all excited. He just wrote in capital letters, Strangio, and a bunch of...
He doesn't say hello to
What?
Doesn't say hello to me.
Well, I'm not done with comments. Maybe he did, but probably not.
Probably
It's implied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. It's implied. All right. Ann from California. Good to see Steve here today. I used to watch his trivia shows.
Awesome. Thank you, Ann. I appreciate that.
And again, from California.
She would shout out the answers and keep her own damn score. That was the title.
And I don't really understand. They must have shit entertainment in California because she watches everything here. She watches a lot of the Strong Island stuff.
Nice.
Very supportive, and she's wonderful. And she loves riding Harleys because of the motorcycle seat gives her a nice vibration.
Hello.
And that's
See,
why I love Ann
over
so much.
Cobblestone.
That's right.
Meh.
Andrew Fremder. I'm at the DMV right now, and these people are absolutely miserable, lifeless souls just wandering about. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Sorry, Fremder. Fremder, you're actually coming in here tomorrow, if I'm not
Episode
mistaken.
of Walking Dead, apparently.
Yeah, right.
G25.
Fremder's coming in on Music Day?
Oh, sorry, Friday. Yeah,
Friday.
Fremder's coming in Friday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
TGI Friender.
There you go. Not so much. No, I'm kidding. But Rosie will be here and Peter
Joking.
Anthony.
It's a
and
joke.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun day. You can always count on Oh, this is for Fremder. You can always count on Kaplan's military experience to get you out of a situation, especially in a dollar store, because he trained at Fort Pansy. I screwed that up, but he's just picking on you, as usual.
What, from that dollar store story?
Yeah, I do believe that's what. Yeah.
Some of those look like worn-torn.
They do. Oh,
Yeah.
God,
You walk in there, and it's like, what happened?
Fremder says you all look like you would do your food shopping at Baldy's. Vicky has played. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
We're the Baldies from The Wanderers, if you've watched the movie The Wanderers.
Oh, wow.
Watch that movie. There's a deep cut for you.
Yeah, it sure is.
All right, so what did she say?
Vicky has actually played wheelchair basketball, and
nice.
is so excited when I made a basket. Oh, very nice.
Well, go to Zone Ball Sport and see if that should be an actual sport.
There
I
you
want
go.
that to happen, yeah.
Tony Orlando is 82.
82.
82.
Yep. So, okay.
He looks great.
Yeah. Great entertainer. One of the times my wife saw him, she said he did like 4 Zeppelin covers.
Oh, yeah?
I did the same thing. I was like, what?
I would
Tony
love
Orlando?
to see that.
And I think I did find somewhere on YouTube. I think you can find. There is a clip of him singing "Whole Lot of Love."
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't. I thought she was putting me on. I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Well, I got to tell you, my favorite band is called Dread Zeppelin. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Of course, the Elvis guy.
The Tort Elvis, big fat Elvis guy, with a Jamaican band doing reggae heavy metal versions of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah,
I saw
you've
them.
Never seen this?
No.
I
It's
saw
hilarious.
them NASA
Oh, my
Community
God.
College in a hangar, double bill with Fishbone.
Oh wow!
Best concert experience I have ever had in my entire life.
And we're talking. These guys have been around since Dread Zeppelin. I want to say late '80s, early '90s.
late
they've
80s,
been
early
around.
90s.
Yeah,
you know,
they've been
still
around.
around?
Yeah, right. They are.
Well, actually, no, I think Dread Zeppelin broke up,
they-
unfortunately, but
they
you
did.
can catch them on
Okay.
Spotify. It's the best. Whole Lot of Love with a reggae heavy metal
Yeah.
slant is one of the best songs ever.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'd say
I'm familiar
make
with
love to that.
Okay, so the reason, what kind of inspired me to ask Steve to come in, other than wanting him for a long time, was you posted something about the Late Show when Letterman was there,
The Late
and that's
Show.
when I said, "Well, come in and tell the story here."
Yeah.
So I'll let you have the floor and tell that story.
Yeah, so I would go there every so often. When I'd go in the city, it was time when I was doing stand up and being an actor and going on auditions. I would hang out, in the back because they would, during the David Letterman version, because people would come out, towards the end. I got to see Bruce Willis, I got to see everything. One time, I actually made believe I was actually paparazzo, and I had like a flip phone, and I was like hanging out with the other photographers, like taking pictures, stuff like that. Someone's like, "You out?" And I was like, "Whatever." So and then I found out that they had something called Audience Talent Show. Okay, I'm like, well, what do I got to do for that? I'm like, well, you have to have a special talent, and Dave will bring you on, and you can do it. Now I said, well, the only special talent, I'm an extra. I work as a background actor. they're like, well, send us a video. So I actually spoke to somebody there. I got a connection. And I sent them a video of me I've been on like 5 Law and Orders. I've had certain like scenes that were I never had actually dialogue.
Right.
Did have one scene with Vincent D'Onofrio where I played a CSI guy, and as I was walking past him, I wasn't supposed to do this, but I did it. How many times you get to hang out with Vincent D'Onofrio?
Right.
Yeah.
And I kind of gave him a nod, and he gave me a nod back, and I was like, all right, and just kept walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So in this scene, I was a juror. I was like the lead juror. And as it was like coming back from commercial, it scanned to me and went dum and like landed right on me. I was like, I got to use this clip.
Yeah.
So I told them about it. They reached out to NBC. They gave them the clip.
Wow.
So I get to come back. Now they invite me down. Now it's me and like 5 other people. We go through rehearsal. Now I'm backstage. I'm literally backstage at the Late Show. And I had been a big David Letterman fan ever since I used to watch his morning. I watched his morning show.
Yeah.
You know, I watched the final morning show where the studio almost caught fire, which was hysterical because they had confetti and then they had like sparklers, and like as they're going away, they're like guy comes out with a fire extinguisher. I'm like, this is so amazing. And then
Letterman
I
was the
became
best.
I was dedicated to Dave. A big fan. It's like, this is amazing. Now I realize, holy crap! I think my mother actually went there to go see like earlier people, like the Beatles and stuff like that.
Oh, when it was Ed Sullivan?
Yeah, and I'm standing on the stage where the Beatles stood, and everybody else who were there, and I'm like, this is Elvis, where Elvis stood. And I did my bit. Now, they said, great, okay, thank you very much. And the next person came out. And then I went into the back room. Once again, I'm hanging out in the back. I'm in the green room. I'm watching everything on TV. I'm living the life.
It's very similar to being here, though. So much history, same thing. The history that's hitting you
being where you
as
were.
you're walking through there. Yeah.
So everybody else, like, some person like was a juggler, and the other person like had a cat, whatever it was.
Right,
that was their talent. So it comes time to do the show, and the guy comes up to me and goes, listen, what you do isn't exactly a talent. I was like, well, yeah, it kind of is.
Right, yeah.
But we need somebody who's like kind of demonstrative. I mean, it's very funny. You were
Nobody
really
can nod at
fun.
Vincent D'Onofrio the way you did.
Yeah, exactly. I nodded. Watch this. And I can stand while it goes dun. I even did the eyebrow. So they're like, listen, you're extreme. We want to work with you again, but for now, you're gonna have to like kind of just step aside. I was like, okay, fine. So they gave me really good seats. Now I had to sit there and watch. They actually did, keep it, the segment. Right. But it was like, once again, whenever something like that happens to me, you go one of 2 ways, which led me to like writing this thing. When I got divorced, I was like, I could either just go into deep depression, or I can make a decision to use this as an example to inspire me to do something else.
Right.
So I decided, this could suck, or listen, man, I've been backstage. I've been on the stage. I'm sitting there in the front row. I'm having a good time. I sort of met Dave because he was hanging out. He waved. I waved.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was like, all right, fine. We had the experience.
Right.
And that was it.
Right.
Now, I did want to get back onto the stage. I've been to the Colbert Show. I've been in the audience, stuff like that. And the difference between the warm-ups for the Colbert Show and the warm-ups for the Letterman Show were entirely different. Dave was very factory-like and to the point and stuff like that. And, it was like boom, 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 bring them up. Colbert's more improvisational. It's like it actually lasts longer, and then the warm up guy brings people up on stage.
Mercurio.
Yeah, Mercurio. And I wanted to get up on stage and like have one last thing and do Super Mega Trivia Slam there.
Right.
But unfortunately I couldn't get tickets again. Because of the the big thing that's happening. It's this last week and stuff like that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But
it's tomorrow.
I think
Friday.
As of this filming, Thursday is going to be the last show.
Thursday.
As
yeah,
of this
the end of
filming. So if you're
Colbert.
watching this in the future, it already happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, say that again so John can hear you. Go ahead, say
John, Bruce is going to be on the Stephen Colbert Show, I believe, tonight.
it. Wow. All right. John will be watching.
Yeah.
So I guess what it's all
And he's
about.
going to perform.
What it's all about is just kind of like taking what happened and just kind of moving forward with it. I had that experience. It was fun.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'd be happy with that. I mean, of course you want to get on.
Of course, you want to get on, but at the same time, I want to be when I finally do get on to other talk shows. You want to become on as a performer, as a peer, stuff like that.
I'm actually surprised though because you would think, like showing the clip. Is like, what's your talent? Well, I'm an extra. So what exactly does that mean? Well, I make faces. And then to show that clip, especially with the dun-dun right there, like that's right up. That's the type of humor Letterman did.
Yeah.
So I'm really surprised to hear that.
I think he wanted more demonstrative type of things, people actually doing something as opposed to just standing.
All right,
there.
fine.
I had a video clip.
Show us. All right, so give us the dramatic face.
All right, here we go. There we go. That's
Give us a surprise face.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You just received some bad news.
Bad news.
Bad news.
I have the facial movements. I can do anything else.
That's what I'm saying.
You got
So
anything
Letterman
for me?
Letterman could have
Rule
done
of the
that.
threes. You know comedy. That's the rule of the threes. You did it.
Yeah, absolutely right.
So,
But yeah, he could have done that with you. Like,
I could have, but whatever. We moved on. I mean,
No,
I'm
it's
sure
still a great
One of these
experience.
days, I mean, I do have brushes with greatness. I always seem to have these, these moments where I meet these people.
yeah, and again, same. I've had some weird experience. Like I said, Eddie Van Halen, Huey Lewis, Mickey Dolenz. Yeah, but I have a Letterman story too. I was doing I have a comedy troupe. We do murder mystery shows, audience interactive comedic murder mystery shows. We were doing a show in Jersey, and there's a guy in the audience. I'm like, man, that guy looks familiar to me. And I'm like, but I'm in Jersey. Like, I don't know anybody in Jersey.
But I'm in Jersey.
And sure enough, and I said it during the show. I was actually mentioning to it maybe 2 or 3 cast members, like, do you know this guy? It was bugging me. Anybody know this? Nobody knew. Finally, probably about halfway through, one of the performers comes up to me. She goes, I know who that is. I said, please tell me who it is. It's killing me. If you remember on Letterman, you remember he had these 2 stagehands. They would read transcript from Oprah shows.
I remember that, yeah.
It was, I forget the one guy's name, but it was a short guy and a tall guy.
Tall guy, yeah.
The tall guy was him.
That was him? Nice.
And as soon as she told me, then it hit me because Letterman would say their names.
Yeah.
Pat Farmer.
Pat Farmer.
I was like, son of a... And there's a part in the show where, like, people fill out sheets of who they think committed the murder once they've seen the show. And I mean, Mike knows. He's been in a ton of them, except when he backs out of them.
Oh, wow. Look at that side eye.
So they fill out sheets after they've seen the show, who they think did it, why, and I read some of them. So I have the audience, I have their attention, and I just stopped in the middle. I pointed. I said, "Are you Pat Farmer from Letterman?" And he just nodded. And then not that it could have changed anything, but I said, "I hope it's all right that I said that."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." Comes up to me after the show. He said he loved this. He goes, "This was so much fun." He goes, "I loved you guys." And he gave me his email.
Oh, wow.
And said, "Don't lose touch with me." He said, "I want to." He says, "But I need to get it okayed first." I said, "There was 6 or 7 of us in the cast." He goes, "I want to bring all of you to the show."
Oh, nice.
And he goes, "And I'll give you a tour, the whole works."
Awesome.
I was like, "Holy shit!" So I give it about a month. I reach out to him. "Oh yeah, Tony, I definitely remember you. Yeah, I want to set this up. It would be great to see you guys." I think it was like 2 months later. I happen to, I'm thinking, I haven't heard from this guy. Do I bug him again? And I don't remember where I saw it, but I went on the internet and found it somewhere. He ended up with some heart disease or heart issues.
Oh, man.
He was out for a year.
Oh, wow.
A full year. And then by the time he came back, I think he was within a year of that Letterman ended. So I did. I just wrote to him and said, and I like you're saying, they're like, you don't want to be a dick. You don't want to take advantage. So I just wrote, "Hope you're feeling good. I don't know if you remember me, but hope you're okay." And he did. He wrote back, said, "Yeah, I do remember you." He said, "Unfortunately, I don't have time now with the show ending. Everybody's looking to get in here and see Letterman or see the place."
Right.
He goes, "I'm just telling you flat out, I will not be able to get you in here.
Okay.
I'm really sorry."
Seems
But I
real
thought that
about it.
was really cool.
Yeah.
So same thing, like didn't get the experience, but still made that connection. Had a cool story to tell. Like I like that stuff.
I think it's important when you get to a level of fame, like how we were talking about Bob Nelson and how
Right.
great he is. You want to be known. You want to hear those stories about how cool they were growing up. And
Right.
and you, like you said, the whole thing about going back to the whole fame, the whole callback to the whole fame thing. Once you hit a certain level of fame, there are going to be people who are going to, no matter what you do, are going to think you're a jerk. But you have to, it's not just about doing it just to, have people say nice things about you.
Right.
It will come back to you, because there
Right.
will be a point, like Tony Orlando. You get to a point where it's like you're a legend and, you're out of the game for a while, but people remember how cool you were and how great you were.
And that's what I like, being able to say nice things about them.
Right.
That's the joy that I get out of it. And I've always been that way. It's never, whether it's a Tony Orlando level or somebody playing, I don't know, the Giggle Room. Like, I've always been that guy that always wanted to go to them afterwards and say, I really enjoyed this, or I enjoyed that
Right.
part of what you did. Like musicians, actors,
Well, like all the guys that I came up with are they're all popular right now and famous right now.
Sure,
Some of them I
yeah.
still talk to. Some I haven't spoken to in 20 or 30 years. But it's like you knew them then, and you're happy for their success.
Absolutely.
And then you
Right.
know there are some people who landed in different ways. You're like, well, now I know why you did that.
Right. Paul Mercurio, I met him here once,
Yeah.
and we hit it off. We hit it off really well, and he called in here. That's what it was. He had a show in the main room, so he was promoting it. We hit it off on the phone, had a lot of laughs. So I came to see him, and we spent some time after the show. Again, just really hit it off. So then he did an off-Broadway show running for a while.
Yeah.
So
One of my dreams.
Oh, yeah. And especially, which I could see you doing, the show he did, I don't know if you're familiar with this or not. Well, I forget what it was called, and my apologies to Paul McCurry. I forget what it was called. But what he would do, do a little stand-up type stuff in the beginning, but then he would bring people up, like maybe a couple or one person, bring them up one at a time, and just ask them questions.
Yeah.
And that was the whole show.
Yeah.
And then, his responses would be funny, or maybe it would get deep and, serious. I loved this thing. I thought it was fantastic. I was really hoping it would take off for him. I mean, to have an off-Broadway show, that's considered by many to have taken off. But I don't think it blossomed to what. But he had me come as a guest. Afterwards, we went to a bar a few houses down, and we sat down together. Super, super nice man.
Well, I have two. I've written 5 full-length plays, and 2 of them have been produced. I've written a whole bunch of short plays, and they've been produced too.
Yeah.
And I've sort of been on Broadway because one of the plays I wrote, the 35-minute version, actually was on Caroline's on Broadway.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take that.
They gave us a Tuesday slot, and we showed the thing. But now, I would love to get at least. There's 2 very Happy Saturdays, and one's called Sex Ain't Love. Happy Saturdays has been produced at the South Shore Theater in Lindenhurst.
Oh, Debbie.
Yeah, Debbie. And Sex Ain't Love, I'm looking to get produced as well because it's also a film. So I'm trying to approach kind of like I understand Tarantino wants to get into stage play production. After
Does he?
he's done with his 10th movie.
God, I hope not.
And wants to reinvent what it means to see a stage play. I would love to do that too. Start small, some off-Broadway thing, or there's a lot of playhouses in Manhattan. Where you can actually do it. I was once. Do we have time for this? I have.
Holy crap! I had no idea how late it was.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Tell this story, and then we'll say goodbye.
Yeah, I went to go see.
Wow.
I was coming back from the stage reading of Happy Saturdays, and then there was the last performance of Rent.
Oh wow!
I walked in during the break, and then during an intermission, and I got to see. Now I realize it's afterwards. It's ending, and then I start schmoozing with the cast. And they're like, "Hey, which season of Rent were you in?" I was like, I was in the '96 cast. And we're just talking back and forth. I'm like, all right, fine. So, hey guys, like, hey man, we're gonna go to a bar. You want to come? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. So
that's fantastic.
I walk out and there's a crowd and they start cheering. I'm like, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I was in Rent. Yeah, how you doing? I wasn't in Rent. And and I just walked away. But it was fascinating. So I got a feeling of
love stuff like that.
of what it means to be on Broadway. So I definitely want to get Happy Saturdays or Sex Ain't Love back onto Broadway so I can actually say, yeah, I was this is my play.
I love Tarantino. Okay, yeah. But the reason I said I hope not, I saw him in a stage play and he was awful.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was a production of Wait Until Dark.
Okay.
You remember Wait Until Dark?
Yeah. Sounds familiar.
It was a great play. But they made a movie. Richard Crenna, I forget the female lead who played her. Damn it. But anyway, it's a great show. I'm a big fan of it, and that's why I went to see it, because it was Tarantino and Marissa Tomei, who could do no wrong in my book.
Yeah.
And she was amazing. But Tarantino, I thought he was awful.
Well, I mean, I could see him producing something,
stick to the producing end.
And now these days, there's a lot of advancements, in the presentation of stage plays along the lines with, high definition backgrounds and different ways of doing it. So I want to approach that with some. When I produced Happy Saturdays, one of the actors was a house builder, and he created this insanely amazing, realistic back room of like a Friday style restaurant.
Oh, nice.
And that's what the whole film was about, like one crazy night, in the night of a theme restaurant. Not exactly Fridays, but like another thing. And it brought you into the reality of it, keeping one set in the entire thing, but feeling like you're actually peering into the back of something. So I'm trying to recreate that. So that's basically it. So yeah, man. This is it.
Wow.
I'm glad we had time to hang out.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
This was a pleasure. I didn't even get to half of the stuff that I had here.
Well, bring me back.
Absolutely. We'll definitely bring you. Oh, we didn't do the questionnaire either.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're definitely going to bring Steve back. This was a lot of fun. Anything you want to promote? You want to tell them websites, or
Super
anything?
Mega Trivia Slam on Instagram, also on NY48 and Strong Island TV. Check local listings.
I had a lot that wanted to talk about that with you, too.
Every
Damn
Monday
it.
night on NY48, somewhere between 11 p.m. and 12 p.m. And then if you go onto Strong Island TV, just skip forward, on the channel grid, and you'll see when it's going to be on there. I'm trying to do. I'm focusing now more on the television side of it. I'm not doing any live venue shows for a while. Zoneballsport.com. Check it out. That's the sport that I invented. Also, Zoneball Sport on all the socials. As well as basically, when the time is right, keep checking my social media. It's just search for Steve Strangio. It's facebook.com/Happy Saturdays, on there.
Nice.
And, I'll be there promoting as much as crazy. If you follow me on Instagram, I promote like crazy, and hopefully I'm going to start doing more promotion for the television series version of A Good Man. If you want to see A Good Man, I'll keep checking with the promotion and I'll do it. But I'm really super excited about making this a TV series, and I'm completely dedicated to it, and we're going to make it happen. That's all
Nice.
there is to it.
Okay.
And thank you for inviting me. This is awesome.
Anytime, pal.
It was
Would love to
a
do it
homecoming
again.
of sorts, so it was a good time, and a pleasure meeting you as well. So there you go.
He's talking to you,
Pleasure
Mike.
meeting
You're right.
Yes, I know.
I know he was looking. It's okay.
I'm actually looking you up on Instagram to follow you.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Anything you want to promote, or you got anything cooking?
I'm just doing Reality In-Laws podcast.
Yeah, I saw some clip of that you posted, some big close-up of your face, and I
Oh,
don't know.
my sister-in-law did that. That's just a teaser for the program.
Yeah, but what were you doing? You were looked like you were reading a speech or something. What was going on there?
No, it's just my. I'm talking about the 90-Day Fiance.
Oh, but what, you wrote something in advance and then you were
No.
just...
No, this is. I mean, we watch the program, we take notes, and then we do a podcast about it.
Yeah, but in this clip, it was a close-up of your face, and you
because
kept
my-
looking off like
no,
you were
because
reading
my
something.
Computer. Oh, maybe I was looking at something. I might have been.
Oh,
looking
okay,
at the
but your
dog or
computer's there?
something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is this again? You're what reality show are you talking about?
90-Day Fiance.
You're so gay.
Call it gay or not, it's hysterical.
It's hysterical, is it?
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's a reality show. That's all I need to know. Okay. We're getting out of here.
Super Slam trivia.
Super Mega Trivia Slam.
Yeah, I had a lot of questions about that, too. So we're definitely going to bring you back.
Cool, man.
All right. What is that? All right.
Super. Say it again, Steve.
Super Mega Trivia Slam.
You can't say it without saying it like that.
I have to talk like this. Hello and welcome. Press 1 if you'd like to play.
So today is Wednesday. We got, I think, Circling the Drain is on tonight at 7. Ira wasn't feeling well, but I think he's on tonight. And then tomorrow, our show, Jeff Skelsey will be here with me. I believe Frank is joining us on Zoom. Our guest is musician Jeff Pevar. Jeff Pevar, he's played with Ray Charles. He's played with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. He's played with a ton of, you name the musician, he's probably played with them. Very excited to talk to him. However, I just saw on Facebook that his brother passed away a few days ago. So I'm kind of thinking maybe he's not. I'm gonna have to reach out to this guy, and I feel bad. Sorry about your brother. Still doing my show? Yeah, that's going to be a little awkward.
That's
But
a segue conversation.
yeah, so I'm either going to piss this guy off majorly, or he's going to say, "Hey, thanks for asking. Yes, let's reschedule." I don't know. We'll see. So I don't know if that's our guest tomorrow or not. So we'll see what's happening. And then, as we mentioned before, on Friday, Rosie Fiumara, Peter Anthony, Grace Fiocco, and Andrew Fremder will be here on Friday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Monday, don't forget, Don Sill will be here. And some friends of ours, Greg Halverson, are joining us. There you go. So that's what's happening on this show. So we appreciate the support here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Don't forget knockemdeadcomedy.com. We got some shows in the fall. Our summer is light, but we got some stuff going on in the fall. Go to our website, check us out, as well as get some information on how you can hire us for your event. We got some shows at the Brokerage. We got some shows at McGuire's. And speaking of which, shows at Brokerage and McGuire's, don't forget, tomorrow night, the big show, Percussion and Punchlines at the Brokerage tomorrow night. Mike Keegan, Mark Hirschman, and Rosie Fiumara doing their Comedy Genius. But speaking of Comedy Geniuses, Richie Byrne and Eric Haft are also performing. But they're not only doing their comedy, they're doing music as well. Eric Haft is an amazing drummer. Richie Byrne is a great singer. And they will be joined by Michael Paris of the band OAR. He'll be singing, performing with them and doing his own set as well. So it's a cool night of percussion and punchlines. That's at the Brokerage tomorrow night. I'm going to that. I can't wait. That's going to be a lot of fun. And, of course, speaking of the clubs, let's see what's happening this weekend. Here at Governor's, the main room here in Levittown, Sarper Guvin is playing Saturday night at the main club. Oh, and Kevin Downey Jr., I think. He's playing one of the clubs this weekend. I just saw he was added to the roster. I think it's here at Governor's. Friday night in the Giggle Room, John Butera and friends. That's a lie. He doesn't have any. I'm kidding. What else is happening? Rob White, Mike Dell'Aquila and friends Saturday at McGuire's. And if you come to Governor's and all, you get a bonus. They got the carnival playing this weekend. Sure. All sorts of cool stuff. govs.com, govs.com. Check out their full schedule, and that's where you can make reservations as well. Like we mentioned before, Bob Nelson's coming this summer. Lots of great stuff always happening at Governor's. Governor's and the Giggle Room in Levittown, McGuire's out in Bohemia, and the Brokerage in Belmore. All right, we're out of here finally. Sorry we started late. Sorry we ran late. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out. Steve, see you next Wednesday. Michael Kaplan. That'll do it. Where are my graphics so we can get out of here? Okay, there we go. All right, we'll see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day. See ya.